morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm setting up my live also on Instagram. We go live in both locations. So I hope everybody's doing well. Good morning. Good morning. It's Saturday, December 2nd already. Can you believe it? We are literally already in December. Um, Hi, good morning. Good morning, good morning, everybody. All right. So, welcome to December 2023. Can you believe we are literally already at the end of the year? I can actually remember getting myself ready for Christmas last year and thinking, gosh, it just got here too quick. I didn't get to finish all my shopping before I went to Jamaica to have holidays there. Like, I literally can remember all of this, right? As though it was yesterday. Um, there is so much. Hi, Miss Denise. There is so much that has happened in just this past week, guys. Whew, let me tell you, life is over here lifing. And I can't say anything other than I'm grateful. Morning, morning, Joy. I can't say anything more than I'm just grateful to be here. I think one of the things that we miss an opportunity for is being present to the gift of life when we're thrown all the different curveballs and all the different things that life kind of brings to us, But for sure, for this tea time, I want to talk about all the different ways that we miss the opportunity to really have the life that we want. And a part of why I want to talk about that today is because we are heading into a new year, right? Very shortly. We are going to be starting in approximately 29 days. We're going to be starting a new year. And with that comes all the planning. And I mean, right now, I'm pretty sure you're seeing all these different talks and lives. And, what if you're on mailing lists, you're getting all the emails about, planning for 2024, what to do with your career for 2024, and how to get the success you want, how to make more money, all the different things about life that most people are trying to achieve. And I was thinking about, well, what conversation should we have for this tea time that would really connect you with understanding probably the one main thing that you can do for yourself as you approach the new year while you're in 2024, that's actually going to support getting to that life that you desire, right? And as luck would have it, I don't believe in luck, but yeah, as luck would have it, this morning when I was getting myself ready, I spent a lot of time in the morning um, setting up my mind. Like, that's where I spend most of my time now in the morning. I'm not the girl who jumps out of the bed and gone to the gym. That is not me. Like, and I don't have a problem with that. There are lots of my friends that are like, you need to be in the gym. And yes, there's a whole bunch of work that I should be doing around my physical, like, get it right. Um, but in the morning, I would say I spend about an hour. If I've set up myself properly, I spend about an hour on my mind. And that is between meditation, it's pulling an intention card, it's writing in journals, it's listening to one of my teachers just talking about a particular topic. So I spend a great deal of my time. If I can't get a full hour in, then it has to be at least 30 minutes. And if I'm late, or if I wake up late, then I have to do it while I'm getting ready. Like, my mind setup is the key to my day flowing in a particular way. And it doesn't mean that things aren't necessarily going to go crazy or go wrong. It just means that I'm setting up myself to have the type of day that I want. So I work on my mentals a lot, right? So this morning, as I was working on my mentals, making sure my head right. I um I was listening to one of my teachers talking about really what I've also discovered is one of the truths about life that so many people do not know. And the reason I know they don't know it is because, well, first of all, I'm around people 24/7 all the time, whether it's my family or myself, and I observe myself, right? I work with people, a lot of my clients, I have, friends, family, all of that, right? And I can easily tell whether they have this practice or not. And this is the practice that makes a huge difference in whether or not you're going to have the life experience that you want. And that practice is focusing on the things that are wrong with life as opposed to focusing on the things that are going well. And I know it sounds simple and you may be like, no, but I'm a grateful person. I focus on good stuff and all the things, right? Um, but what is true, guys, this is where I'm telling y'all, you have to pay attention, especially if you want this 2024 success. You have to pay attention. Our minds, when you get to a certain stage in adulthood, our minds are literally programmed just based on how we've experienced life. Our minds are programmed to recognize what's wrong in our world first, right? So as soon as you open your eyes, you may notice that the thoughts that start to stream through are some of the challenges or the worries or concerns you may have gone to bed with the night before, right? So that's the first kind of, as soon as you wake up and you have consciousness, what is the first thing? What are the first like, thoughts that come up? Am I remembering all the different concerns I have? Sometimes it's not even about you. Sometimes it can be about your love partner. Sometimes it can be about your kids. Sometimes it can be about your clients or your boss or whatever the situation is with your work, your family, right? What is the first thing that you think about? Is it, I'm late? Is it, I'm not going to have enough time today because I have this thing that I'm supposed to be doing? Is it, oh my gosh, I forgot to do this thing before I went to bed? So that's the first thing. Just start paying attention to the first thing that comes up, right? The next way you can recognize it is as you're going through your morning, and even let's say you get up and you're doing your prayer, do your daily devotional, whatever it is you say you set up yourself to do. Are you immediately starting to worry about the list of things that you have to do today? And when you start to think about that, you start to now worry about what could go wrong in that list. So I'm giving you just the little hints and the little clues, right? But what happens so many times, guys, is we spend so much time focusing on the things that we're concerned about, the things that maybe making us sad, not going well, the things that we desperately, really, really want, but we're not seeing the result of it just yet. We focus so heavily on that we miss the opportunity to actually put ourselves in an energetic space that's going to help us to welcome those things into our lives in a faster way. And I know that this is something that happens to you, regardless of who you are that's currently watching this live, because it's actually normal. This is human nature. This is normal. And it's related to, unless you're brought up in an environment where your parents, your teachers, if you go to church, your pastor, where all they've talked about were the things that were going great and how to focus your mind on those things. But as far as I know, those environments are not, prolific across the earth, right? We are, especially now, when you look at the news, when you look at fake news, social media, there is just a lot of inundation and a lot of drama. People love the drama. We love to see all the things that everybody's life has to speak about. Even sometimes when people are talking about the goodness in life, you can see it when you look at anybody's profile, right? Let's say you look at like a Will Smith or a Jada Pinkett profile right now, right? If it's something that's positive in their lives that they're putting up, you can count probably on one or two hands how many people are saying, yay, go. So many of the other comments are just talking about all the things that may have happened in their lives that's not great. So it's like a default setting for us to talk about all the things that aren't going well, or to focus on that, or to remember that and point it out like, oh, we good at that. We good at pointing out all the things, right? But if we spend so much of our time doing that, then how much can we expect to actually get the things that we really want to experience? How often do we feel we're going to be reflecting the life, the experiences, the money, the career, the love, the house, the car? How often do we feel we're going to be reflecting that? Sometimes it's not things for people. For some people, they're really good at getting things, but they have no peace of mind. They have beer family drama, beer love life drama. So pick your poison, but just examine for a moment in your life where it is you can't seem to get a break around what you desire. And then look at, well, how much time do I spend really fostering good energy about that space in my life, or good energy about that space in, somebody else's life? What are the thoughts that I have about that particular part of things? Because you can't get to what you want by focusing on what you don't have. Let me just replay that for you. You can't get to what you want by focusing on what you don't have. And this one, guys, I will tell you, it was one of the things that still I'm constantly having to remind myself of, because it's just that mind hack, right? It's just that mind hack that I can't get to what I want if I keep focusing on what I don't have. So then hear my question now, which if you're connecting with me, you probably have the same question, but well, if I don't focus on what I don't have, then how am I going to get it? Right? How will I get to the thing that I'm trying to get to if I'm not focusing on it, if I'm not dreaming about it? So this is where we have to make sure that we understand the semantics behind the statement, right? It's less about the focusing on it and more about how you focus on it and when you focus on it. So this is the part that is the truth. Okay. So for many of us, we have a desire. It could be a desire about wellness. It could be a desire about fitness. It could be a desire about love. For me right now, I've been waiting for this hot water in my tea to cool off. It's just a desire about tea at this point. You like my cup today? This is one of my besties' cups. It's a Paris themed mug. It's very long. Last week I had this juggernaut of a teacup. Anyway, let's get back on topic. You can't get to what you want by focusing on what you don't have. If you are thinking about a life that is filled with greatness and where you are bossing it, you're killing it, right? You're successful, and you don't even necessarily want a partner. Maybe you're not into the love scene. Maybe you're good being by yourself, but you just really want to feel satisfied. You just really want to feel like life is good. You want to have that good feeling energy inside. You don't want to wake up feeling miserable every morning. You want to have that feel good feeling, right? And there are particular things in your life that you've been desiring for a long time. You've been working at it. And every single time you think about doing more work at it, it's a negative feeling more than a positive feeling. It's like you have to psych up yourself to get to the point where you feel like you're pushing and you're striving, and, it's just beer pop down, or a lot of things just aren't going right. And instead of thinking about what's going right, you just start noticing all the other things that aren't well. You start getting the phone calls from all the people that stuff ain't going well for them either, right? Or something else that happens to you that is preventing you from moving that roadblock that you thought you had moved before. It is because what you focus on expands. So if you are in a negative place, mentally, emotionally, about something you are trying to achieve in your life, about something you are trying to attract to your life, the more you focus on that challenge that you're having, the less likely you're going to be to get to what you want. It does not mean that you don't take the steps, right? It does not mean that you don't look forward to journaling about something or to putting it on your vision board. But if the thing don't feel good, do not force it, because forcing it is not necessarily going to make it feel good. You're just forcing. And then you become more focused on the forcing energy, which is also not getting you closer to what you want. So when I say you can't get to what you want by focusing on what you don't have, it is because that focus is not aligned with the energy that is going to help you in receiving what you want. You ever notice how the things that you don't worry about always work out? Huh? Like, you ever notice that? You ever notice how the things that you focus on are sometimes the things that aren't happening, and then over here you're just like, I have no problems in this part of my life. For some ladies, they don't have no problems attracting men, none. It's just like, I don't care about the dudes right now. I'm just over here trying to make it. I'm trying to be a boss or whatever. That's because you have one bag of guys lining up, right? There isn't that deep yearning that, oh, can I have it? Can I have it? Right? You don't feel like you are lacking it. And so you don't necessarily feel you need to focus on it. And then there is an abundance of it because you don't feel like you're lacking it. Did you see that? When you feel like you have an abundance of something, or when you don't even have to think about having an abundance of something, it is just all over your life. There is a plethora of it. For some persons, that's the love space, right? I remember when I was divorced, most recently divorced. We have been separated for a while, so this was really more just about, being single again. And I remember how I was just constantly focused on the fact that I was alone, or that I didn't have the guy that I wanted, or that I was dating in a pool of nothingness and his beard dogs and let me tell you something. The amount of nights I cry myself to sleep, like I went through the whole thing. Like I don't have any shame to talk about it. Like I literally remember when I bought this new bed, right? I bought a new king size bed, right? A beautiful bed. I just, I was on Wayfair and I saw the bed and I had to have it. It's gorgeous. I was living in Kingston at the time. Shipped to the bed. Hey, Donovan, hey. Shipped the bed to Kingston. I was so excited. I even had this guy friend of mine set it up for me, right? Because I wanted some good juju, some good energy. Set up the bed and everything. You see, the first night I slept in that bed, I cried so hard. I cried so hard because I'm in the bed and all I could think about is the fact that I was alone in the bed. Now, maybe this is because I've been married for such a long time, so I was rarely single in my life. So maybe it's because of that and it became so evident to me, right? But what is true, guys, is that it's because I was focusing on the lack of the thing and how much pain that thing brought to me, it made the experience of being in a good energetic space about it and attracting it to my life, it just made it very, very difficult. And I couldn't get it. I just kept thinking, oh, I need to be going out more. I need to be doing this more. I need to, the moment I realized that I had to shift my perspective of how I thought about love. Like at the time, I couldn't even go to a wedding. I couldn't even celebrate somebody else's love space because I was so hurt from my love experience. And yet still, I wanted to have it, right? The moment I started to shift energetically, and stop paying attention to the wanting it and the not having it and I need it. And, the moment I started to make that transition, that's when I started to experience love in my life. And this is what is funny, guys. I was never without love. My kids were there. I have an amazing family. I have a beautiful group of friends. And this is all over, not just in Jamaica, all over, right? And I wasn't able to access how much love I had around me. So, how am I going to bring in more love in my space when I can't access the love that is there and celebrate that and be grateful for that and stop focusing on the gap that was existing? So, that's what I mean when I say you can't get to what you want by focusing on what you don't have, right? We have abundance in our lives in so many different ways. Sometimes we're in work, it's a work situation. We're in the work situation. And yes, Judy, I know it's you. Hi. We're in the work situation, right? And we want to change, we want to shift from that situation. And we get so caught up in thinking about the experience of work that we want that we're not yet able to create, that we aren't able to segue our mindset into accessing that thing, right? We're looking for the job, and it's like we can't get to the type of opportunities that we want, or we think we get the opportunity, like we're here cussing the job. No, we're cussing the work that we have, cussing it off, right? We are saying all the things that it is not. My boss, this. I can't stand my coworkers. They don't pay me enough, right? And we start to look, and sometimes you get an opportunity and then you jump in there, and it's like you jump out of the pot and into the fire, as my grandmother would say. And so, guys, as you're thinking about transitioning into this new year experience, because that's where our minds always get to. We're in December now, like fully. This is December 2nd. We know that we're going to start transitioning into this experience of wanting to set ourselves up for success in the coming year. We're going to be looking down our list of things that we were doing in 2023. Like, I found myself yesterday, it's book ups, I actually found myself that looking at all the things that I had set up as goals for 2023, right? And woo, let me tell you something. It's actually, I called it Life Design 2023. And I love to do that. I do that every year, by the way. And when I looked over the things and I had my deadlines there, and I was like, okay. A lot of the things that I was looking at achieving that I did not achieve, I thought about the energy that I had about it. And I realized that my energy was not where it needed to be. Now, does it mean that nothing shifted? No, things shifted. I've either learned or I've grown or I've started to access different parts of it. Maybe I made some progress, but I didn't get all the way there, right? Now, you see, the things that I was either very nonchalant about or just over the moon about or just had feel good juju, like that juice that you just feel nice about it. A lot of times it didn't have anything to do with me. Sometimes it's about somebody else's stuff. Any of those things before the deadlines. And so I'm really clear that it's about where my energy center is, where my center of attraction is. I'm not even sure how all of this, I just saw a whole bunch of fireworks and stuff going off on IG. I don't know what happened, but I think that's great. Whatever that was great. My center of attraction is what really created the shift that I wanted to see, the transformation that I wanted to see. And so I'm encouraging all of you that you come from a place of already having, come from a place of being full, even when you feel empty, there is something that you are filled with. For some of us, we could probably have really great careers. Maybe it's your work life that's actually doing well. And even though you're working and you're thriving at work, maybe it's, money is not, somehow it's not yet adding up. So your money energy is what's really out of alignment, right? All I'm saying to you is look for the gold, look for the gems, look for the juice that is in your life. Look for the place right now where life is just delicious. Look for that place, because everything in life is a journey. And no matter what you're trying to get to, when you get to that thing, there's going to be something else that you're trying to get to next. So if you can master the one thing that I'm talking about, this one truth, getting to what you want equals focusing on what you already have and celebrating that. If you are not well in some area, listen to me, I'm a cancer survivor, okay? If you are not well in some area of your life, but you are well in other areas, celebrate the areas where you are well. My tea this week, I didn't drop the tea at the beginning. This week, the big tea for me is that I fell down the stairs, right? In the house, this house I was staying in, I fell down the stairs. On it's been 5 days now, fell down the stairs. I was taking my girls to the airport and I wasn't rushing or anything. We were just heading down the stairs. And I felt like this is the first time I've fallen downstairs before. You live in the States, you're up and downstairs all the time. I've fallen downstairs before, but usually, you slip and you kind of hold on. And no, this was like a tumble over, pop down, broof, like flat out, screaming, pain, like sobbing, wailing, like it was horrible. I kid you not, right? I'm wearing a boot on my right foot, which is my dominant foot. That's the foot I drive with, right? I sprained my ankle, my neck, my lower back, the whole, like I had a headache for like 24 hours. Like it was not only a bad fall, but it was a scary experience. And in the midst of all of that, I was just like, I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive. I just, I was in pain, but I was alive. It could have gone a whole other way. Yes, Miss Denise, I have some things that I'm working through, but I'm alive. And so I thought about all the other times where I was cussing my body because I'm not going to Pilates class enough, or because this part a sag, or this part a dimple, and like the entire week, I've just been grateful for my body because I didn't break bones. And here I am sitting down talking to you guys live the week later. Like last week, Saturday, we had a live and I was bouncing off the walls. Everything was great. And then 2 days later, I'm tumbling downstairs. I could be sitting there, focused on the fact that, oh my gosh, I just have all this pain. Oh my gosh, my foot is in a boot. Oh my gosh, I can't continue with all the plans I had. I can't get this done, and I can't get, because there's a lot of things that I was supposed to be doing this week and coming week that aren't going to get done. It's not going to happen. A lot of plans I had to finish my year strong and to do all of this stuff and sell this and that, and it's not going to happen. Hi, Mish, morning. And instead of focusing on those things and getting myself caught up in the misery of what's missing, I am deciding 100% that I'm going to be present and experience what I want to experience. I'm going to be grateful for the current moment. I'm going to trust that where I put my energy, that's what's going to expand. That's what I'm essentially focusing on. So I'm encouraging you that as you step into your weekend, we love to have this talk on a Saturday morning, because this is when you're stepping into the get stuff done that may not be work. Some of you work on the weekends too, but you're getting into your hustle, whatever that hustle is. I'm just encouraging you to be with what is going well and trust and know that the things that you desire, you're going to keep taking those steps and moving towards them. And those things too will line up. And when those things line up, something else is going to be out of whack. And that's okay, because that just means that there is more life to be lived and there's more juice to be had on this journey. So I wasn't sure which card to share this morning. I've been going through and looking at the different ones. And maybe we'll choose this one today. I hold on to what I know to be true. So this is the card we're going to pick for today. I hold on to what I know to be true. I declare and hold my soul's truth steadfast. Oh, this is beautiful. Despite the conditions of my outer worldly experience. That's exactly what we've been talking about this morning. So for your tea today, I encourage you to hold on to what you know to be true. Hold on and be steadfast around the things that you can see are working in your life, and then take that energy and transpose it to the things that aren't going so well. And trust that. Don't try to be out here forcing things. It is not necessary. And if you remember the one truth, right? You can't get to what you want by focusing on what you don't have. If you focus on that one truth, then you know that you need to focus on what you do have that is really great. Even if the outer conditions of your experience are not exemplifying every single thing that you desire. Okay. All right, guys, that's my time. Thank you for joining again for a lovely tea time. Make sure you come back next week, Saturday. I promise, guys, I'm going to try my best not to break any bones. Like, yes, Miss Denise, thank you for the speedy recovery, Rish. Thank you so much. I am working on it. I'm resting as much as I can. I don't like to go slow, guys. So, for me to be as slowed down, but when you're in a boot, when you have a boot on your foot, you can't be running around the place, right? But I'm well, and I'm grateful, and I'm thankful for all of you joining me this morning. Have a great weekend, guys, and take care until next week, Saturday, when I come and give you the tea on tea time. Take care. Bye. Bye, guys.